the Herd Line News.
All right. Ben Simmons saga continues.
Yeah, it sure does.
Reported last week that Ben Simmons would make his debut with the Nets tonight against the Celtics, but he has been ruled out for Game 4. He reportedly told the team his back soreness returned yesterday. He had 10 days of pain-free practice leading up to the decision, but it took a turn yesterday. They were hoping they could use him in this series. Obviously, Boston is up 3-0, and the reaction has been less than positive to Ben Simmons not being available for Game 4. Reggie Miller tweeted about Simmons continuing to sit out, saying, "Come on, man, out for Game 4 when it was rumored you were going to make your debut. This dude has zero competitive fire." Use the fire emoji. "As a small chance as the Nets have to come back in this series, you still have KD and Kyrie. All you need is to win one game and take it from there. Hashtag man up."
I do think there's fear-based here. I think Simmons sees the hostility, and I don't think he wants any part of this. I really don't.
Colin, I said this last week on the show. I think this is a very unfair position to put Ben Simmons in. I understand that Ben Simmons is a professional. He gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
I understand he hasn't played in a year. Some of it was mental, and now it is physical. And there's a lot of uncertainty about where he is. And I, of all people, am not a fan of this whole situation. But why put that out there? There is no win. Zero win in this situation. He hasn't played basketball in a year.
I know.
He's never played with this team. He's not a minute of basketball with this team, with these teammates in this system. And you're going to insert him in an elimination game in the playoffs.
Yes, I would.
With this kind of pressure, why?
Well, because I'm paying him $100 million. That's pressure is part of the deal when you make
what you were paying him when you brought him in.
Yeah, but
the money to me is. The money to me, I get it. Like, you get paid like a superstar. I understand it.
Yeah.
And I am not saying that Ben Simmons is without a fault here. So no one get crazy. Like, you have a responsibility as a professional to do everything that you can to be available to do your job.
Right.
But there was no win for whoever put this out there.
That's fine. I can
do that.
Yeah, but the excuse can never be pressure. Like, if it's back soreness, that's totally different. But if the reason I'm not playing you is pressure, get over it.
But they're saying it's back soreness.
Okay, that's fine.
So, like, are we to believe that it's that, or are we to believe that it's the pressure?
Whatever it is.
I'm with you. I believe it's a combination of both. But
like,
that's why, if I'm the Nets, I am not saying anything about if Ben Simmons can play or not.
Once you're at $100 million, pressure can never be an excuse. Back soreness, a totally different ballgame.
I wouldn't have brought him in for the first place.
Well, yeah, I didn't like. I think he is a roster and chemistry killer. So I thought I said the first day of the deal, Philly fleeced Brooklyn.
I also just don't think, for everything that comes with him being available, with how things fell apart in Philadelphia, he's a good player. He's not a great player.
No. You have to, in this league, you got to score some to be a great. Marcus Smart's a good player.
But he's terrified to shoot. We know that. How has that changed in the last year? He doesn't play basketball.
Right.
So, I mean, all I'm saying is I don't know why you would put this out there to begin with. What did you expect the reaction to be if he couldn't play? Which was entirely on the board. Like, number one thing on the board is he's probably not going to play.
Yeah.
So why would you put it out there? It makes no sense to me. Manage the situation properly. I had zero expectations of seeing Ben Simmons
I don't
this
think
season.
you can ever use in pro sports. There's a lot of pressure here. It's like maybe for a rookie, like you wouldn't want to put a rookie quarterback in a Super Bowl and just roll with it. Like Justin Fields, it's like I defend the first-year quarterback. I'm like, can we get him in exhibition games? But when you've been in the league like 5 years and you're making $100 million, it's like, bro, if it's soreness of back, I'm with you. But if I was his agent now at this point, Rich Paul, if you're Clutch Sports, like I'm not sure if this is good for my agency. Like this is like it's a bad look to represent him. I think maybe I'm wrong.
It's a bad situation, and I think putting out there that he might make his debut just made it worse. I didn't expect to see Ben Simmons in this series.
Well, it's funny. So when he first got traded, it was 10 days, and it was called, and it was when he first got traded, it was mental, and we were all respectful of that. And then the mental went away, and then it went into back soreness. So, like, remember, they sold us on he'll play early, he's just got to get mentally right. Okay, that was like 10 days. So now it isn't mental because now it's a back soreness issue. So that better be what it is, because I'm not giving you a third out, which is there's a lot of pressure here. I'm not giving you the pressure out.
No, I don't think pressure should be an excuse if you are 100% healthy to play. But my side of it is you pitched something that you had no guarantee that he was going to do. So why would you even put it out there? And even if he was to play, what's he playing? 8 minutes a half? Now it's Ben Simmons' fault that they didn't move on? He's not played it all this season. I don't know. I just think it's. I think it was a silly thing to do.
Even
it does
if it's
not
out,
make any sense.
even if it's out there, all right, it's out there. You can't control anything. Everything leaks. I mean, good God, the White House has leaks.
There's a difference between if something gets out there and Steve Nash coming out and saying, "Absolutely, we're not even exploring this. Shut it down." Like, you can shut something down. You can absolutely say, like, don't know where that came from, but it's not true.
I don't want anybody to be a victim in this. I don't want to blame anybody but Ben Simmons. I don't want to blame Nash, media.
I'm not passing victimhood. I'm just saying I didn't expect to see Ben Simmons this series. And even if he did come out there, he's playing 8 minutes. What is he going to do? He's like going to be the savior of the situation.
Could help.
Which, by the way, the Nets shouldn't be in the first place. You have Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Well, his first 2 games in Boston, if he played 8 minutes a half, I'd argue they'd win. Kevin Durant wouldn't be completely exhausted. Just like 8 minutes.
I don't know. Game 4 is tonight. Nets are currently favored by 1, according to Fox Bet. But the Celtics could close it out tonight. So the NFL draft starts Thursday night.
It does.
It has arrived. And according to Tony Paulino of the Pro Football Network, the Saints and the Steelers look like a sure bet to select a quarterback in the first round. So the Saints have the number 16 pick. Steelers have number 20. They both signed veteran quarterbacks this offseason, Jameis Winston and Mitchell Trubisky. And both of the guys look like placeholders, but neither of these quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, who are rumored to be, going at the top of the draft, are really sure bets to perform in the league.
I would have no problem if the Saints took Willis. These two teams make sense to me. They have really good cultures. Both have an answer for this year, Trubisky and Jameis. Neither one thinks they're a Super Bowl team this year. But the bottom line is these two teams will vie for a wild card spot. These teams, Steelers, Saints, to me, if you're telling me those two teams by Thursday night have Willis and Kenny Pickett, I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with either of these teams taking quarterbacks. I also think if you get it wrong, take a quarterback again in the first round. They do that with all kinds of positions. It's the most important position. I don't have a problem with you moving on if it doesn't work. Now, the Seahawks also might take a quarterback at number 9, and then you also have Carolina, who's been rumored to be in that spot. I think that's mostly because Matt Rule is sort of in the hot seat. But we just talked about it. There's not going to be trades up. No one wants to move up.
No.
Detroit is also a possibility. I'm very curious to see where these quarterbacks go. I'm excited to see how they develop also. If they end up going to these two teams, now obviously the Saints are a different team without Sean Payton. Whoever ends up with the Steelers, I think will have some success. Malik Willis, obviously Kenny Pickett is a pick guy, but I like Malik Willis in Pittsburgh as well. But it's not a star-driven draft, so the buzz isn't the same that it usually is.
But it's still fun.
No, and I'm curious to see what teams do what. We still have Baker and Jimmy G out there as well, so there are some moves to be made. The Deebo Samuel situation with the Niners is turning into some social media drama. There was a reported text message chain with Jamal Adams of the Seahawks that Deebo has since claimed is fake. He tweeted, "LOL, false. I don't even got dude's number or nothing." You got to be careful with these screenshots. People can manipulate those. There's also a video at a nightclub with a sign that says Deebo is staying with the Niners, and then the camera pans to Deebo, and Deebo's like, no, it's not me. I'm not doing that. So I don't know. There's a lot going on with this situation. Ian Rappaport reported last week that Deebo wants to be used as more of a traditional wideout. We know money is also a factor in this. Multiple reports emerged Friday that the Jets, Packers, and Lions have shown interest in making a trade. Now, the Niners have said that they are not going to trade him, but it doesn't seem like it's a fixable situation. Now, Tyreek Hill sort of set the market for the top-level receiver with 5 picks. Boy. I don't know how you're going to go higher than 5 picks, and that was with a first and a second-round pick. But the interesting thing with the Deebo situation to me is that he doesn't want to be used how he was used with the Niners. So if I want to bring Deebo in and pay him that kind of money, I'd want to use him the way that he was used with the Niners. I wouldn't want him to be exclusively a traditional wideout because he's so effective at being a hybrid player. But I don't know how. Well, I mean, the Niners have control of the situation. Obviously, they have the leverage here, but how long can they hold out, and how much drama are they going to deal with?
Good stuff, Joy, with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.